Thank you, Danny. We're grateful to be here. We appreciate everybody who has signed up and joined us today, and we hope to make you appreciate and glad that you joined this webinar. So, all right, we're going to jump in here. You know, we are at in the change of epochs or epoch. I don't know how you pronounce the word, but epochs. Like the times are changing, and we know that. Our clients know that, and we're seeing evidence of that every day in our own behavior and the behavior of our target customers. And so we've really been thinking a lot about how do we, as link builders, right? This is our background. How do we evolve and provide services that are going to be impactful moving into this kind of new emerging era? And so we've got some ideas on that, and it involves hyperlocal and community-based PR, which Lee's going to talk about towards the end, and it connects into how synthetic search is kind of structuring its data inquiries, which James is going to connect into. But I'm going to kick off with what we call flux right now, okay? And we're going to try to stay grounded as possible. I'm a very theoretical person, and it's just one of my many qualities that are a gift and a curse. But anyhow, we're gonna pick on Chewy though. We love Chewy. We're all pet people here at Citation Labs. But we're going to be looking very particularly at their vet page. Okay. Now, don't get, if you're not in this space, oh, this webinar is going to work. No, this is just we had to get grounded somehow. We had to have some kind of basis for how, what, and why are we talking about? Because this is where we're going next. All right. So wait a minute. What? So yeah, we're going from this page. Okay. This is the vet page. This is a page that Chewy published, because they want people in Atlanta to know more about their services, okay? So how well does this page enable their audience, who we call practitioners in our model, to actually achieve the outcome they're trying to achieve? So the audience being a pet parent, are they actually able to achieve what they want to achieve on this page? Now, we built this formula because we really were wondering what's missing from the page. Because as link builders, that's what has been our bread and butter for a long time, right? Like, what can we add to this page that's going to make it genuinely useful, right? Like, how do we get citations to this page from offsite? And it's a sales page, so how do we, level this page up meaningfully? So first we had to measure what's there, right? And so we're really trying to get, we call it practitioner, but the user who's trying to make things happen, right? What is useful to them, okay? So, okay, we got that. We got through that. I was really nervous about this slide, okay? Because it's a lot. It genuinely is a lot. So the numerator is the benefit. What does this page deliver? And so we analyzed this page based on this framework. It helps someone progress towards a key outcome. It has some time and logistics information, and it does do some social proof. This is a real thing, okay? Here's what it costs the viewer. And this is a place where, as SEOs, we've never really kind of thought to go, right? We think about, well, what does it cost Google to crawl the page, right? We don't think about what does it cost the viewer on the page to interact with it and figure out what to do next. And the reason why this is important is twofold. One is there's some great link building ideas and concepts that come from this. When you really ask, where are we costing people too much time, effort, cognitive load? Where are we charging them too much, essentially, to achieve the outcome they're trying to achieve? The other subtext here is well, gosh, as agents begin to take over the web, right? As our this is a 5-year. Anyways, as agents take over, they're going to be using the same types of metrics to evaluate a page. How well is this page enable me to achieve an outcome that I'm trying to achieve? Okay. So we got the easy stuff out of the way. All right. So we covered off on the easy stuff. Let's dig in. Let's kick it up a notch. What are FLUQs? Friction-inducing latent unasked questions. So these really emerge. We start to see them here, right? Like in the absence on a given page, right? So what am I supposed to do if it's an emergency? There's no clear call to action or no clear information there. This, if I'm in an emergency situation, my dog just got hit by a car, like that's going to cause a lot of friction that I don't see that on this page, right? There's going to be a lot of emotional friction for me. And so that's, what we're trying to model into is what's missing, what friction does it create, and how do we provide that information on the page in a way that's going to produce useful outcomes for our, we call them a practitioner, but that's the audience, for the people visiting the page, or robots visiting the page. Okay, let's bring it back. Let's make it a little more fun. All right, so FAQs that we would expect to see on the page. What are the hours? Do you take walk-ins? But the stuff that really creates friction for the person who's scheduling an appointment for their dog, is there a lot of people in the waiting room right now? Is it how busy is it if I wanted to walk in? That would be lovely to have on the page. How much might this visit cost me? I mean, come on. I don't know how, like, I'm not a vet. I'm not, so these might be very difficult things to answer, but these are the types of this is where the friction comes from, right? Like from a user perspective, this is where they're going to become, whether they recognize it or not, they're gonna start to get frustrated. I'm not seeing what I need on this page. My outcomes are being blocked. My intent, we talk about intent, search intent. Right? We're more thinking of that now at Citation Labs as like outcome. Like what kinds of outcomes am I searching into or prompting into? What do I want to have happen? So these are the things below the water that could upend the boat of your practitioner vet. Anyways, you get it. All right. So again, just to cover off on FLUQs again. Friction-inducing latent unasked questions where customers could fail even if they buy from you, right? Like even they may feel frustrated even that they scheduled a visit for their dog, but they walk in and it's there's coughing dogs everywhere, or sick, there's illness going around in that space. We're really trying to understand and map, and this is all. I promise you guys, there's a direct lineage from link building and how we do link building into FLUQs. I know, like, how did we get here, Garrett? What is going on? It really came from this place of what would be genuinely valuable to add to this sales page that's going to make a difference and benefit our ICP, our target customer, our target audience. And so all of these layers of thinking, all these formulas are really coming from this place of modeling and understanding what we call the practitioner, and really trying to almost get into that mindset and really think into that place of what would actually be very useful here. Why would we answer them? This is where trust comes from. This is where authority comes from. This is where expertise comes from. This is where genuine, aha, thank you, these kinds of feelings that we have sometimes when we get just the right information at just the right time. We can make that happen. That's the formula, right? That's what's behind the formula. And most importantly, Okay, this is the third one, and I literally, I have one of my advisors today was like, Garrett, you cannot. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. We're working on this slide. Okay, this is definitely a work in progress. But and also the name for it, Friffy. No, I don't know. But okay. But the aha moment. This is how we model that moment when the user, the practitioner, says, "Eureka! This is what I needed. This changes something for me. Right? This changes what I expect the outcome could even be, or this definitely helps me make sure I'm going to achieve my outcome, or this whoever published this page really understands my personal or my very individual kinds of needs." So lots of complex variables. How do you establish trust? How do you break through to the customer? Our position, our belief is that answering Flux can do that. Just go tell your board, tell your CEO, you got to raise the Friffy count of your. Don't do that. I'm totally joking. But you do need to think about what are you not answering on a page that you should be, right? How do you do that? Well, we think about scanning places, customer service logs, for example, what people are saying about your brand on Reddit. What are your reviews saying? What are your actual FAQs now? What's the gap between the actual FAQs and what's probably missing information? But every complaint, not every complaint, some of them are terrible and not useful, but most, like a good criticism is one of the most valuable things you can receive. And I'm completely open to it, by the way, folks, if you have any for me as we proceed. But really good criticism help from Reddit, from wherever, can help you see into that place of what are we leaving out, what is not said but should be. If you're in B2B or longer sales cycle spaces, or spaces with implementation needs, or et cetera, that's another. Anybody that's involved with implementation or tune-ups or optimization of things, installations, they're going to have a purview into what is being unasked, what kinds of expectations were not quite answered in the sales process. And all of these are just absolute gems, great sources for these kinds of friction-inducing latent unasked questions, the things that people aren't knowing or thinking to ask. I like hallucinations. I mean, if we see hallucinations happening in AI and from prompts, well, that tells us a gap right off the bat. I mean, and I agree. LLMs hallucinate a lot, and they're not. They don't know when they're lying or when they're unfactual. Well, we do, and if we see it, then I mean, as a content, someone who's involved in content, well, that gives us a signal. That tells us exactly where we need to go with information. So that's where they come from, is a scanning and overview or analysis of these kinds of open criticisms, if you will, or open attempts to synthesize or understand that are not complete. So you do okay, Garrett, you're walking along with me. You're like, all right, this link builder is telling me to make these Flux things. All right, I don't know. Well, you're going to do your Flux audit first, right? So let's go back to that Chewy page. You're going to think about who are the stakeholders. What are they concerned about? And so you're going to want to walk. This is the outcome is from this thought experiment, is that really Chewy should have on that page a pet health watch alert that tells users and AI and what is going around in Atlanta right now for dogs, right? Like what kinds of illnesses might we be concerned about, or should we be concerned about? So that if I am in an emergency situation, or think I might be, well, I wonder what's going around. If something is just going around, we just got back from the dog park, or we just, got back from the vet or the kennel, something like that. What is happening right now? Chewy, the vet. Sorry if this was, I didn't disambiguate at the beginning. We're talking about Chewy's vet facilities, their vet offering. They know based on, and I don't know if this is legal to release or not, so this is where I get to create in a vacuum, and this is the vacuum of my basement here, and just concoct ideas. But if they know what is going around, they have a log. We know what dogs are getting or what they're coming in with, and we see a spike in something, and we see a spike across multiple facilities in the Atlanta area. Well, I mean, we as Chewy should talk about that. Like, I feel like that's a valuable, that would add a valuable kind of user experience to their vet page. Here's an example. And so I've been trying to slip in this notion of the echo block, and this is just sort of a generic holding term for a chunk of information that's presented in a meaningful way and a usable way by an LLM, or it could be, brought easily in with RAG into a search. So it's a way to construct information we'll have to get back to me on that one. But that said, here's a notion, here's an idea of what that could look like or could feel like for the user on the Chewy page, right? This is, as a pet parent, this would kind of tell me everything about what's going around, what's the the analytics of dog health in Atlanta right now. So we want to answer FLUQs with facts that resolve our ICPs, reduce effort, stress, and worry for tough decisions when they're navigating a tough spot. And Garrett, content should be doing this anyways. I know, and yes, it should, but we haven't been trained to do that. Not by Google, because Google says, hey, you rank for these keywords and we'll send you traffic, right? So we're very intent focused. We're very keyword focused and keyword ranking focused, which has, is why I'm here today. And I'm grateful that I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, when we are genuinely helping someone navigate a difficult spot, that's a little different than meeting keyword demands or seeing how much demand there is for a keyword and trying to create a page that ranks for that keyword. We're really trying to lean into solutions with content. All right. So I'm doing my best to keep this to 15 minutes because I'm starting to eat James's time now. Thank you, James. But this is some of our thinking. Thank you, James. This is some of our thinking about what, how would this kind of a block of information, how could it, kind of play out on a landing page or on a web page? And so obviously FAQs, the causal triplets, but you want to be structuring your insights, your net new information. Ideally, it's net new data. We're solving, we're bringing new facts, new data into this decision space, but you have to structure it to survive synthesis. And so that is, you're going to have to say the same thing in different ways multiple times, like I've been doing on this presentation, because LLMs struggle with understanding things just like I do. So you get to tell me a bunch of times also. Then you're going to want to, get the signal out there. You want to, so you've got, so what's this, what am I talking about? Signal is this is, we know what's going around in Atlanta right now. Okay. So what do we do with that information? Well, we're obviously going to put it on our website, on our Atlanta pages. We could do an outreach door knock campaign around to the dog shelters. If there's something bad going around, hey, we saw this, here's something you should put up on your website about it. We definitely would be thinking about social media, And all of this to kind of emphasize Chewy's understanding and their level of detailed factual information about the health of Atlanta dogs at any given time. We're going to think about how do we plug this data into someone else's MCP, right? Who else would want to know this kind of information? Who's you know, I don't know. Did the dog kennels, did they have some system that we could plug this information into, or that would want to call this information for their users, etc. So lastly, you want to obviously be tracking what gets reused. You're going to be looking for signals in AI overviews, in ChatGPT plus search for, are we getting picked up? Is this information actually being used and picked up? And you're hoping that you're going to be getting some links out of it and branded mentions. And then, of course, you're answering the friffies. Let's not forget about friffies. So get started today. You got this. You could do, you can check out how you're appearing right now so we started Citation Labs. We also have ZipSprout. It's one of our other brands, and then Zofu.com, XOFU.com. You can go over there now and check and see what your brand looks like. We've got a new version of that tool launching in early July. It's free. What we have up now is free. We also have stood up a GPT. We'll be sending out to everybody. It's just a custom GPT that I've built, and I also share all the knowledge base that it's built on top of, like the knowledge base stack. So you can kind of, if you want to pick and choose from this, like what you'd want to add to your own stack, whatever. If you're doing building your own analysis engines or analysis tools, more than happy to share that kind of stuff, guys. We love collaborating. We love working closely with clients. We've usually keeping folks 5+ years. We collaborate. We love working together and learning from our clients. So and our peers in the industry. So we really do enjoy working with everybody. We're fun to hang out with. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, let's keep it rolling. I think that was my last slide. Oh shoot, I almost said the SHIT word. Excuse me. There is one more slide. Is that the last slide, really? Oh no, there's more. We cannot keep. Look, this has to be James's turn to talk now. Okay, agentic enablement. I talked about that a little bit already. We can come back around to this if anybody wants to follow up.
And everybody will get the slides as well.
They'll get the slides. Yeah. This is way too much. Yeah. And okay, God, should I keep going, James? Look, everybody just go to Zofu and try it out. Okay.
It's free, like Garrett mentioned. There's some premium features being added June 30th. But yeah, go check it out now. Sign up now. There will be some free features still enabled, and these things you can look at right now and start to dig into.
I'm about to get the cane out. Somebody's gonna.
Do you want to talk really quickly on this slide here, Garrett?
I mean, I just got a demo from the team, from the Zofu dev team on this, and it really is exciting. We really started focusing at the bottom of the funnel, like what kinds of prompts are the ICP likely searching for, and how well do we appear against them. So we now are in July, and you can go use that tool now. It's free. In July, we're rolling out a tool that is going to be, you're inputting or brainstorming 150 different prompts. They're based on topics you want to be visible for. And so kind of trying to model how the ICP is utilizing prompts in your problem space or in your outcome space, if you will, or intent space or keyword space, whatever you want to call it. But it's an amazing, really fun and much more accessible tool than those that are just kind of like boil the ocean. What am I supposed to do next? We've tried to stay hyper-focused on next steps and easy applicability, and really trying to empower that next-gen frontier agency. So thank you, guys. That's Zofu. Get out and mess around with it. and also
Yeah,
five more links from Citation Labs too.
And here's the custom. I go back here. I'll go back.
Oh.
And look here too. This is the custom GPT that Garrett mentioned. You can play with. So a link will go out, but you can also scan the QR code here if you want to take a look at that custom GPT. It's very helpful and it unpacks all kinds of.